What's up, fam? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com, and I got a nice, funny story for you today. Listen up. On Thursday, November the 10th, which was last week, in Tampa, Florida, an unofficial Marine Corps birthday get-together took an odd turn when an anti-Trump protest walked by the bar where they all gathered. Yes. So on Thursday night around about 7:30 p.m., anti-Trump protesters walked along a street in a historical Tampa neighborhood that had many bars and restaurants. About 100 Marines. Oh my God, I wish I was there. Anyway. About 100 Marines were on their first stop of an unofficial pub crawl to celebrate the Marine Corps' 241st birthday, when about 150 anti-Trump protesters passed by the Irish pub at the time. The protesters were yelling profanity and shouting, "Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter," along with "Trump is not my president," as they passed by. So the Marines at the pub didn't care too much for this. They found it very disrespectful, and they started yelling and chanting back like slogans, "USA, USA," or "Trump, Trump, Trump, Trump," or my favorite, "Move to Canada, move to Canada." Oh, those leathernecks, you gotta love them. Woo, okay. Sorry. Move to Canada. Move to Canada. Move. Okay, police had to create a human barrier between the opposing groups as members on both sides screamed obscenities and gave each other the middle finger. Oh, how nice. However, the anti-Trump protesters kept a safe distance away from the Marines and continued on with their march while the Marines yelled, "You walked by the wrong bar." Oh man, I would have loved to see this. But anyway, here's a short clip of the news coverage from that night.
Never, Trump protesters marched right into a U.S. Marine Corps pub crawl, and things got out of control fast. Tampa police quickly creating a human barrier between hundreds of people screaming at each other on the streets of Ybor. After some tense moments, the protesters kept walking. All of these protesters believe that President-elect Donald Trump is a racist, sexist, and divisive for the country. But not everyone out enjoying Ybor tonight felt the same way.
I think they don't really know the issues. I think that they are misinformed. They follow, but the regular media, and don't know the real story.
But for protesters who feel disenfranchised, they feel very informed on what they think Trump thinks, and they're worried.
I hope a lot of this rhetoric in the pre-primary election and the election cycle, I hope that was just a show. I really hope that he matures. I hope it's not as bad as we think it is, but we're all here because we're scared for the worst.
Henry Lavenport told Channel 46 News, "What these stupid Clinton supporters don't realize is protesting isn't going to reverse the decision. President-elect Donald J. Trump is going to be the commander-in-chief of the armed forces." Also, November the 11th is Veterans Day, so we are celebrating the anniversary of our branch and bringing in Veterans Day. And these knuckleheads picked the right time to pass by some Marines. Hold on. The protesters were asking for trouble by using their anti-Trump message anywhere around a group of pro-Trump people, particularly United States Marines. Police stated that none of the Never Trump protesters were arrested or injured. That's surprising. And that's the reason why they weren't injured, because they stayed a safe distance away from the Marines, okay? The police said the reason why none were injured is because no physical altercation took place. The confrontation from both sides were just limited to just shouting and yelling and using profanities between both groups. The entire incident lasted about 20 to 30 minutes before the protesters left. Notice how the protesters left, not the Marines, okay? But the Marines are so nice. Listen to this. Listen to the Marines, okay? You ready for this? The United States Marine Corps would like to thank the Tampa Police for preventing this unexpected situation from exploding into a brawl. Are you serious? They're so nice. What they really were saying is, we would like to thank the Tampa Police from saving these millennials from the worst ass whooping of their lives. That's what they're really saying. Because let me just say this. You're talking about men. See, the protesters was a bunch of children, a bunch of whining children who have never been told no, a bunch of whining children who got trophies when they were young, when they came in last place. These are, oh God, these are the most spoiled brats I have ever seen in my life. These are the ones who never were disciplined when they were young. They were never told the word no. And because something don't go their way, they act an ass. They start throwing a temper tantrum and they want their mommy. Give it to me. And so here the Marines like, oh, we'll discipline you. Come on, bring it. Because, say the Marines would have whooped that ass. It doesn't matter if it was 150 protesters to 100 Marines. Do you still understand that the protesters were outnumbered by the Marines? And I know you're like, wait a minute, Tree, it's 150 and protesters and there's only 100 Marines. How are the protesters outnumbered by the Marines? Because they are Marines, okay? First of all, the basic training alone would make them dangerous against these little knuckleheads. And all they could do is shout, "You're racist! You're Islamophobic!" And you know what? This what's missing from these millennials is a good ass whooping. And the Marines were ready to give it to them. They were already drinking alcohol and beer. They had some spirits inside them, so they was ready to get down. Oh, that would have been an awesome ass whooping ever. Ooh, I would have loved to have been down there to see that. Now, of course, I know nothing would have came about it, but do you see, listen folks, do you see how this story is different from the bully story? Okay? These anti-Trump protesters, which has Black Lives Matter activists inside of it, just like the one in New York. Okay, this one is in Tampa. They saw Marines. They realized, these are the ones we don't fuck with. Okay? They wasn't going to even attempt to cross over the police barrier, human barrier. They wasn't even trying to cross over the human barrier that was created by the police. They stayed their safe distance away from both of them. They feared the Marines more than they feared the police. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. These people, even though they outnumbered numerically the Marines, they knew they could not stand a chance of a physical altercation with these men, not little boys, men. Okay? And this is what I'm talking about. One thing I've noticed about Black Lives Matter, I said this in my first video. I said this in the first video I ever uploaded to YouTube, is that Black Lives Matter always go into the upper middle class, suburban areas, and they would harass and terrorize these people because they knew they wouldn't fight back. They would keep their ass out of the hood, and they would keep their ass out of the hills because they didn't want to fuck with rednecks. And here it is. This right here is what I'm talking about. That big fat wildebeest who belonged to the New York chapter of Black Lives Matter, she picked on a frail old white man who's a Trump supporter. Here you have a group of Marines who are Trump supporters, and they never cross that line. Do you see the difference? Because we all know that Marines can take care of themselves. They definitely can defend themselves. And they got some liquor up in them too. Oh, honey, that was going to be a disaster if they ever went that way, okay? But like I said, they know who to go after. They know who to pick on. All right. And this is how you teach people how to treat you. You teach people that you're not the one to be messed with. You teach them, like, I may look like I'm a victim, but I'm going to show you that I am not. Okay. I am not your victim. And I thought this video was so great. And I thought, you know what? This is a good story. This was given to me by a subscriber. I totally forgot your name, but I'm going to put it right here on the screen. This is the subscriber who gave me this story, and I thank her so much. So what do you think? Do you think this is a great story? Listen to me. What do you think happened if the Marines actually cross the police barrier? Now, of course, they wouldn't do that. The police and the Marines and the police get along very, very well. They have the ultimate respect for each other. So they weren't going to violate the orders of the police. There's just too much respect and honor between the two. But just in case one of them got a little too juiced up and decided to go over there and take them on, I mean, that fight would have been, it really wouldn't have been a fight. It just would have been a straight out ass beating. You know what I'm saying? This would have been a straight ass whooping, and it would have been glorious. What a wonderful story. But like I said, they avoided them. They did not even try to get close to them, and they kept that little piss poor protest moving. So what do you think about it? Did you like the fact that nothing happened, but they were just at each other? Or are you like me and saying you just want to see the Marines just open that 6-pack of whoop ass? Anyway, this is Tree from treeoflogic.com. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. And I will see you next time. Later, taters.